expertise with the road is unmatched!
Hello and welcome. I'm Areima, and this is V Rising. V Rising, if you don't know what it is a combat-focused action RPG game where you play as a vampire in kind of like this open world setting, and you go around killing bosses in a way that's kind of reminiscent of Terraria in order to unlock more content and progress through the game. The reason I'm talking about V Rising today is because V Rising got a new game mode whenever 1.0 came out called Brutal Mode. And Brutal Mode is officially everything I've ever wanted from a action RPG survival game. Honestly, like, I don't know what else to say about this game other than the fact that, like, you should, if you like hard games, you should play it. If you don't like hard games and you like games with some challenge, and you have some friends that can maybe make the difficulty of this game a little bit easier, you should play it with them. We're going to be playing a little bit of Brutal Mode today, and I'll also show off some footage while we're talking here and while we're walking of me going through Act 1 in Brutal Mode. I went ahead and did a little bit before we jumped in because the game does start off a little bit slow. It is a survival game after all. At the beginning of the game, you'll be punching some trees and stuff like that. However, the game gets you into boss fights very quickly, and there are a lot of them. In Act 1 alone, you can see that there are 14 bosses, and then Act 2 has even more, and Act 3 has more, and then there's even Act 4. And on top of the bosses, there's also a bunch of other mechanics to the game that are pretty awesome. All of your abilities are on cooldowns, and they are your major resources. You have to be careful about what you can do, including your dodge. So if you waste your dodge getting past an ability that wasn't actually that much of a threat, and then someone who actually does have a threatening ability comes at you, well, you're going to be in trouble because you're not going to have a good way of getting past that ability unless you can just manage to pull off the bullet hell-ism of physically moving out of the way, and at times that can be very difficult. Brutal Mode changes the base game in a significant series of ways. First of all, there is a loot multiplier and durability loss multiplier, and you know what? Yeah, let's just fight her. We've never fought Christina in Brutal, so I'm curious to see what she's going to be like. This is a chick that is actually generally hard in the base game, and she normally doesn't shoot that many projectiles. Go ahead and ultimate her right away. I was heading to a completely different boss. Oh my god, her melee attack just almost murdered me. Okay, yeah. Oh, now she does a damage over time debuff? What the hell? Okay. That's brutal. Yeah, I'm just going to back off from that fight completely, and I'm going to go fight the person that I was trying to fight, who is one of the bosses that is kind of like a civilian. And because they're a civilian, they don't actually stick around and fight you. They run away from you. But the problem is that they're running away from you in a town full of guards. Ooh, that is a 98% creature blood. I'm actually going to make sure I don't kill it by accident. There's a lot of different mechanics to this game. One of the major ones is your blood pool, which is, again, you're a vampire. You can feed on different types of blood, and you can see in my blood pool here that I currently have creature type blood, and the quality determines how many of these passives and what percentage of these passives you get. So I have 98% blood, so I get all of these passives at pretty much the maximum rank. And there's a bunch of different blood types in the game, and you can change them pretty frequently, because, I mean, you basically will change them every single time you feed on someone. I need to find my way around to this goddamn village. Christina there, the Dawn Priestess, really distracted me. I need to get over to Dawnbreak Village here. You know what? Sure, I'm going to follow the direct path, which I believe is going to take me through at least a couple bandit camps. Yeah, militia camps, but that'll give you a moment for me to explain the combat to this game. So you have a primary attack with two abilities attached that are based on what weapon you have. I'm using these dual axes right now. I probably won't be using them for very long, though, because my favorite weapon gets introduced with the iron tier. Typical survival fare there of having different tiers of equipment, and each tier having, you know, more stats than the last one. But one of the things about this game is that, you know, like Terraria that I mentioned at the beginning, you actually can't progress without killing bosses. And with Brutal Mode, one of the things that they did to change the original game is that in the original game, you could actually over-level the bosses if you kind of just, like, did everything. And in brutal mode, the bosses are just higher leveled than you. So if you do everything now, doing everything puts you at the same level as them. So they no longer will get reduced stats or anything like that. They also have a bunch of extra attacks. They do more damage. And they have slightly more HP. It is actually an example of, an amazing example, in fact, of really good difficulty increase, which is something that I always strive for finding in video games, is video games that can do difficulty in a way that is interesting. Base combat of the game is, you know, action RPG, but it's not Dark Soulsian because, I mean, you do have a dodge, but you don't have stamina. But you do have to hit every single attack. It's, you, as you're swinging, you actually have to swing. All of your skills, so if you're familiar with MOBAs, all of your skills are, in fact, skill shots. You have to hit everything. And if you mess up, it can be quite punishing. Enemies have pretty good aim. And they will force you to use your abilities. You also are a vampire. The fighting during the daytime does, you'll see that little beam coming down on me, does lead to you having a slight vitamin C issue. I'll go ahead and loot that real quick while... I'm kind of like waiting for the sun to come down, to be honest. But if you guys are interested, and you're interested in seeing more of this game, I would be actually very interested in doing a full brutal solo playthrough. It's going to be pretty hard, and that's actually honestly like that's good enough reason for me. But you know, if people aren't interested, then this will probably just be a one-off to just show off that, like, you know, hey, if you... Oh, shit. Jade the Vampire Hunter is not someone I can fight right now. And the fact that she showed up in town at the same time that I was trying to take out that other boss, that's some bad luck. The game is open world. That means that most of the bosses wander around... Sorry, all of the bosses just wander around the open world. A lot of them have specific places that they go, but most of them will have, like, a path that they run along, like Jade, like, patrols these roads. There's another Vampire Hunter who patrols these roads down here. So, and whenever you want to go do something, almost every area in the game does actually have a boss associated with it, for the most part. So, for example, Jade, we are going to just let Jade go. I have another transform I have here called Rat Form. That allows me to be a little bit sneakier. It changes their aggro range to be quite small. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to be a little coward here and let Jade go past, because she's an actual vampire hunter and she's scary. The red means that, yeah, my gear is not appropriate for her. Press the run button to open up my gear store. So we're only level 41, and I think Jade is somewhere in the 60s. Don't know off the top of my head. I don't know if it'll even show me because she's so high level above me. I think she's in the 50s then. But once I unlock Iron, I'll be able to get another gear score upgrade. There's no leveling or anything like that. It's all based on your gear. And I will say that the server that I'm playing on right now, I specifically set up to basically be a boss rush, because I'm also playing this on a multiplayer server with my friends right now. And despite the fact that I don't actually think the game's grindy, I didn't want to do all the gathering and everything twice. So everything's set to like 3 times right now. So if you see some... If you're familiar with the game and you see some questionable amounts of things dropping, that's why. It's because I'm specifically doing this as a boss rush. We gather materials very, very quickly, and we're just going to be hunting down all of the different brutal bosses and seeing how they are different from the base. Yeah, so Beatrice here is mostly just going to run away. She is not one of the more interesting bosses. That's why I'm going to probably have some footage in of me fighting some of the actual interesting bosses before this. I do want to make sure she doesn't leave town, though, because... Wait, what the hell's happening? Oh my god, did they actually add... Oh my god, she turns into a demon now. Oh, that's so cool! Okay, Beatrice is cool. Beatrice is cool. That's new. She's also killing town now. She's not just fighting me, she's fighting town, too. Can't counterattack that. Yeah, she's fighting town. And they're fighting her. Where'd she go? Oh my god! Okay, she's going up again. Need to make sure that we have our thing ready. Yep, there it goes. Oh, this is cool. I was not expecting this. I expected to have Beatrice be a fight where, because she's such a pushover and she just runs away from you, we could just talk while we're fighting her. But no, they turned this into a real fight now. Oh, I missed. Come on. Down to the wire now, Beatrice. No, she got me. Okay. We're gonna respawn nearby and run back to her very, very quickly. So I guess as a quick explanation of mechanics, whenever you die, you do drop everything in your inventory that's not your gear. This is something that you can change in the settings if you want to make it harder or easier. But you drop everything in your inventory that's not your gear, and it drops on the ground where you died. Most of the bosses will reset if there's no one fighting them. So if you're in solo and you die, the bosses has their full HP back. There's no question about that. It's no question in my mind whatsoever that boss is going to have full HP again. But in multiplayer, if someone can stay alive, you can basically wait until people manage to get back. Okay. Where are you, Beatrice? I do kind of want to make sure that there's no extra guards around when I fight her, if possible. Oh my god. For that reason right there, yeah. That man just did all of my HP. Ideally, we get him below 30%, 25%, whatever it is. Because once we get him to that point, I can feed on him and then end it early to execute. Actually, I'm probably just going to keep his blood because 76% brute is better than what I had. Oh. Someone killed Beatrice. I think the town guards killed her. Because she was really low. And she was aggro to the town. So we'll come back and fight Beatrice again. But we did bring her down to like 10% HP. I do want to show off that whenever you kill her, you get a bunch of rewards. Most of the bosses will give you a spell point as well. And you can use the spell points to unlock various abilities that go on the right side of your bar. And then you'll get ultimates for each tree as well, eventually. You'll get to choose between one of the two ultimates, and you can respec which choice you had at any time. They are split into tiers, so this is tier 1, tier 2, and then this is the ultimate, so you can't choose a tier 2 whenever you did a tier 1 point, etc. But it does give you some choice, and I will say that between all of the different weapons in this game and all of the different spell types, playing with like 3 other people, we all still feel very unique. We all still feel like we have our own like build per se. I think I am going to head to just straight up find the next boss. It says that it's level 47. That's going to be fine. We are going to head off and see if we can find at least one more boss fight though. And I'm hoping that we can find Vincent. That's who I have tracked right now. He is kind of a Frost Paladin-esque person. Bunch of scholars. Ooh, 88% scholar blood. I don't need you guys. I need you. Man, I'm just jumping between all the bloods. Rogue is all about movement speed and your dash ability. Scholar is all about spells, and you get spell leech, spell power, cooldown, etc. There's Brutes, which is kind of like a frontline tank kind of thing. You did a lot of lifesteal. And then there's Warrior, which focuses on your weapon abilities over your spells. Oops. Don't get counterattacked by those guys. See, that's what happens if I don't counterattack their arrow. They'll light the whole area on fire, and fire damage does a ton of damage. Fire damage is something to be feared. You are a vampire, after all. You are weak to fire. Ah, and we've wandered into another one of those wandering bosses. Meredith actually tends to stay in the iron mines. I don't know what she's doing this far out. But she's scary in the normal game. I don't think I'm going to fight her right now because she is outstatted for me. Whenever someone has so much stats over you that their name is red like that, you actually do reduce damage to them and they'll do extra damage to you. To the point where it's definitely possible to kill them. You can damage them. But you'd probably have to flawless them. And a lot of these bosses are pretty damn hard to flawless. The boss design is kind of amazing. There's also Jade. Wow, I am just getting, like, ambushed. Yeah, she'll try and snipe me. There's a lot of really cool aspects to this game as well that are part of, like, the actual crafting system. You can capture people in order to turn them into servants, or in order to bleed them for their blood. If you, like, find, like, 100% rogue out in there in the world, you can make them a prisoner, and you can keep feeding them so you can keep getting rogue blood over and over so you can actually have a consistent source. There's skill gems that I think I even got in one recently that allow you to have action RPG style, like, extra modifiers to your abilities that you can slot in. There's a lot of things going on here, and the game is just really well done. There's no bugs that I really have ever run into in 100 hours of playing, and I mean, yeah, the game's just really fucking good, guys. You guys should really just try it. But we're about to fight Vincent here. Oh, it says that he's red? Really? Why is he red? I must be missing an item or something. He's 6 gear levels above me. No, I have, like, full stuff. Okay, well, we're gonna try him, but he's probably gonna kill me.
Good luck getting through my shield, fiend.
Oh, yep. Yep. I don't stand a chance against this guy. For multiple reasons. All those extra projectiles. So he normally, whenever he does that shield thing in normal difficulty, he'll shoot out 3 projectiles. Not fucking 7 like he just did. Okay, we're gonna upgrade our weapons real quick. I'm gonna get the iron weapons that I think I'm supposed to have right now, and then we'll come back and get revenge on Vincent before I end the video. As we head to the mines here, I want to talk about one other thing I love about this game. Is, like I said, the game is open world, right? And the bosses just kind of wander around the open world. So whenever I go to the iron mines here, it's not going to be mining like you would think about mining an Ark or Rust or Minecraft. No. Yeah, sure, I'm going to have to, like, hit things along the walls with a tool, but this mine is absolutely packed with guards. Because, again, every time you think about this game, just think about the fact that it is one of those survival games, but it is focused on the combat first. I just want to do this. Try and get all these guys with that ultimate there. Get rid of the militia archers because they are the ones firing the fire arrows, and they are a problem. Need to let them not fire arrows. You can reset how much time you have in the daylight by executing someone. We're going to just ignore all these guys, and we're going to make a break for the entrance here. Oh, hey. Looks like the undead in the entrance here actually were fighting the guards. Having played Brutal Mode quite a bit myself at this point, I would say if you have some friends who also like some hard video games, definitely give it a try with some friends. The only reason I like it so much, I think, is because, well, I actually really like games being almost, like, really on the edge of being unfair. And I've already played the base game a lot, and I eventually got to the point where I felt like the base game was getting too easy for me, which is one of the main reasons that I've been liking Brutal Mode so much. The base game is already quite hard enough to just be a good game, right? And I just ate the wrong item. That was unfortunate. Can I actually break these? I can. I just have to break them with my weapons. It'd be better if I broke them with a mace, but this is fine. Again, I have stuff multiplied, so like you'd only be getting like 100 iron ore from these instead of like 300. Just because I'm not here to play a grind survival game. I'm here to fight some bosses. I say that, but I will probably be avoiding the bosses that are in here. Kind of treating them like horror movie bosses because, well, all the bosses that are in here could kill me really fast. They're all much stronger than Vincent, who just obliterated me in a few seconds. But now this video has a new purpose. This is a revenge video to try and see if we can take down Vincent. I'll show you everything we need to do in order to get that done. Meredith is really low. There's another boss in here that Meredith actually hunts every day called Creed. And it seems like Meredith and Creed might have had a little bit of a tussle. And maybe I should just leave. Because holy shit, she almost just killed me. Ooh! I can't believe I dodged that! Yep, okay. Well, we already got a lot of iron. I don't actually need a ton of it for what I need to do. So I'll meet you back at my base, and I'll talk about what steps next I need to do in order to get strong enough to fight Vincent. Okay, now that we're back at the base, what we would need to do in order to be able to be ready to fight Vincent is we need to get the next crafting table up, which I unlocked from beating Quincy, which is the Act 1 final boss. This smithy and tailoring bench. This tailoring bench will make my armor. The smithy will make my weapons. And I've been playing too many different games, so I was pressing all the wrong buttons there. Let's see. Smithy is iron ingots. Okay, so we can go ahead and... I wasn't sure if it was raw iron. We can go ahead and start getting all of this forged here. Let's wait. Looks like we're already going to have the sulfur for it. And while that's working, to get my upgraded materials, I'm going to look for tailoring bench. I need cotton yarn. I don't think I got any cotton yarn, did I? No. Probably need some sort of refinement station. Yeah, probably like a loom, right? Yeah. We'll see if we can grab some planks here from what I've already refined. And we'll just temporarily put a loom down just like right here. How do we make cotton yarn? Looks like it's just made with cotton. Okay. We'll go ahead and put some cotton in there. Should be able to make a decent amount of cotton yarn. And then we'll make the tailoring bench and the smithy. While those things are working, I'm going to talk about one of the cool things that I like about the castle design, is that all of this is stuff that I've actually built myself. But there's a really cool thing where you actually have to like put down specific types of flooring and make confined rooms. And it kind of forces you to separate things out into different parts of your castle. And instead of just shoving all of your benches in one room like this, this is actually incredibly inefficient. I actually want my tannery and my loom into their own tailoring room with a special floor enclosed by itself, because then they actually get a reduced cost to their things, and if they're inside a castle at least, then they go faster. So there's actually some really good value to maintaining the immersion in this game. It's something I deeply appreciate, because they're trying to sell that you're a vampire, and honestly, they do a pretty damn good job of selling you as a vampire. I just tried to put down this tailoring bench, and like, oh my god, it's huge. So we're just going to put it over here for now. It is going to be fully outside. looks like we need cotton yarn and wool thread. So we've previously gathered wool thread. We can't actually make it yet, I don't think, but we have been able to gather it just from, like, if I look at the map here, it'll say that, like, this militia encampment, this town, all this stuff have important resources of wool thread and cloth that will drop from them. So this will let me upgrade my armor to the next tier of armor. Technically not upgrade, technically I'm just making brand new stuff, but that'll let me get my gear level up. At each tier there is basic armor, and then as you get farther into that tier you'll get set armor, and you get a bunch of different choices. Like, I'll show you tier 1 real quick. So you would have the basic armor is the Night Stalker, and then you have Marauder, which gives you attack speed and health. You have Grim Ranger, that gives you physical power and weapon cooldown recovery, which is like these weapons on the left. There's a Mage set, there's a Rogue set, and those Mage, Rogue, Brute, and Warrior sets kind of like, there's a version of them that progresses through the tiers. So whenever I put this on, I will now be 41 instead of 40. Well, actually, I lose a rank because that's funny. I had a full set on, so I was actually gaining 1 extra gear level. So 1 piece of armor doesn't actually help me. I need 2 pieces of armor before my gear level will go up. I want to get to at least 43 before I fight Vincent again, because he was 40. I think he was 46 or 47. I don't want to go above 47 because I actually liked the bosses being challenging like that, but I do want to try and see if I can get close. I'll be back whenever I have all my gear and everything made, because for the most part, the rest of this is just gathering stuff, and the map tells you where everything comes from. So you don't have to worry too much about, like, oh, well, where do you get this? Where do you get that? The map pretty much just tells you. We're fully kitted out with the beginning of tier 2 armor now. We have a tier 2 weapon, which now that we unlocked our iron weapon, we also unlocked our third ability. So now we also have this really awesome little axe throw. If we hit them in the center of those two things, they'll actually get stunned as well. And a quick overlook, these are the basic weapons. You have sword, axe, mace, iron, spear, crossbow, longbow. But once you get the iron tier, you're going to start unlocking new types of weapons. There's great sword, dual pistols, my favorite, which is the slashers, which are basically like dual sickles. There's a big scythe, a whole bunch of different weapons. But let's go and get a proper rematch for our good friend Vincent here. We're going to track him with the blood menu, something you unlock very early in the game that lets you hunt down bosses. Since, well, I mean, they are all out in the world, so if you had to hunt them down manually, it would be a pain in the butt. And I'll meet back up with you whenever we actually get eyes on him. We should be close now. The only downfall is that we're going to be fighting him right as dawn comes. Yeah, sun just rose. So we are making the fight unnecessarily harder by trying to fight him at dawn during the day. But we're going to start this anyways, because I try not to be scared of daytime. And we're going to try and use some of the ground here as cover as well. To get around those shots right there, because those are rough. Does them so fast too. Look at that. That's such a crazy fast attack. Yeah, trying to bait us into attacking the shield. It's a counterattack that I think will put out ice shards whenever he does it. Yep, like that.
I feel a chill coming on.
I
feel a chill coming on.
A moment and back up a tiny bit here. Save our abilities for dodging. Ah, come on. That's so fast. Oh, that's a big ultimate of some sort. What? It didn't hit me. I was way outside of it. I maybe got greedy there. We got so close, though. Okay, we got our stuff back. We got Warrior Blood, which increases physical power and weapon skill cooldown. Because we actually were running off of Frail Blood, which is whenever you have no blood. And in Brutal Mode, you really have to take advantage of every single positive that you can get your hands on. Every single advantage you can get your hands on. Ow. Remember what I said about those militia archers? Yeah, they suck. I'm gonna go ahead and stun the militia archer back there. And now I need to heal before the fight. Jeez. You can only heal outside of combat. You can only heal the wounds outside of combat. The black HP bar, you can heal at any time.
My blood, restore my body.
But healing outside of combat is pretty damn fast, so not something you have to super worry about. But it actually looks like I get to fight Vincent in his arena. This is both a blessing and a curse. The reason why I say it's a curse is because this is a great place to fight him. But the issue is that he has a lot of guards. I'm gonna try and save my my movement skill to get behind him whenever he does. Wow, he really turned that shield around on me, huh? Just looking at me, he was doing damage to me. That's interesting. Never seen that as a mechanic before, actually. Like, he has like a frost aura or something like that. I see, so I can't... If I'm close to him, he slows me down. That's rude. I just wasted that.
I feel a chill.
And I got him below half HP, so that means that I get a health orbs. And health orbs can help you actually restore some of your max HP.
I feel a chill coming up.
Come on, come on. No. Really get out of it this time. Don't let him take advantage of the same situation as last time. Mid ultimate, he just fucking counterattacked me. What an asshole. Come on. Freeze. It's so annoying.
I feel a chill coming.
Need to get out. Okay, we got this. Hey, I dodged it once. Oh, come on. How did I miss that? Oh, thank God he didn't just decide to kill me there. And we got him down. Fuck yeah. Okay.
I couldn't protect them.
So yeah, boss fights in this game, especially in Brutal mode, pretty damn hard. I would say that guy's about 6 times harder in Brutal mode than he was in the base game. And as a reward, we get a crossbow points and the prison cells that I was talking about earlier.
I have to keep going.
So we can come over here and learn a new frost thing. I'll probably learn the frost dash, which will replace my dash. So now we have this frost thing, and let's see what happens. Next primary attack heals you, which is what all dashes do, and then shields you for 100% of your spell power and inflicts more chill, which I kind of have a little bit of a chill build going on here because I need to be able to handle the large crowds of enemies. But yeah, this has been V Rising. I have been Areima. If you guys are interested in seeing more, please leave a like and a comment telling me what you might want to see about this game if you want to see any more. And if you do want to stick around for more games of this and any other hard video games, subscribe. See you next time. Goodbye.